Hello, neighbors. I'm Doug Turrington, news desk anchor for West Park Times TV. Today, we're taking a look at efforts locally to keep students safe during the COVID-19 outbreak. What kind of planning went into these innovative drive-through graduation ceremonies? How did the Cleveland Metropolitan School District keep the class of 2020 and their families safe? Just before a drive-through graduation ceremony for John Marshall High School, Jesse Schoonover of the West Park Times caught up with Eric Gordon, the CEO of CMSD, and asked him to explain.
This is Jesse Schoonover with Eric Gordon of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. We're here discussing graduation 2020. And Eric, how is it going today?
Oh, it's a beautiful June day, and we're celebrating our 2,200 graduates across 32 high schools. We tried to do it up big, so behind us we're getting ready for our John Marshall IT processional. Students will actually have a program that they can watch in their car, a professional done program. Takes about 15 minutes. Then we parade them through. They get out of their car, get a picture, get their diploma, and we honk them all the way through and send them on their way. And then we're coupling that with a larger digital program, 30-minute program for every one of our high schools on Channel 43 and streaming live as well. And we live stream it right here so friends and family can watch across the country. The kids have been fantastic, resilient, and it's been a great experience.
Why Max Hayes? Were there other examples of schools and other places that tried something similar to this that you said, hey, that works for them, we'll try it here for our schools in Cleveland?
Well, we were well under the way of doing this even as we started learning from others, but we did consult in particular with Toledo Public, which is also a large urban, who did a very similar strategy. Not as much of the digital content, we really wanted those professional digital content, but the ceremony. And we picked Max Hayes and East because they have a loop and it makes a way to process through. And we could then set up all of the technologies we needed and move every school through it, as opposed to going to every single school, which would have limited all of the digital and extra stuff we wanted to do.
Excellent. And so Toledo has done this and they had good results from it.
Yep, Toledo had a very similar experience about 2 weeks ago, and my team consulted with them, learned from them, and actually is how we figured out the right way to have kids out of the car for the photo that matters so much.
CEO Gordon mentioned CMSD invented its own digitization process to preserve as much of the tradition of graduation as possible. But when it came to the logistics of safely navigating students in and out of their drive-through cars, Gordon studied a successful solution developed by another Ohio public school, Toledo Public Schools. By remote interview, Patty Mazer, Executive Communications Director for Toledo Public Schools, explained how they shared best practices learned from their earlier graduation ceremonies with CMSD CEO Gordon.
There was another member of Dr. Durant's cabinet who was the real manager of this event. She did speak with someone from Cleveland about what our plans were. So absolutely. And, you know, Eric is a former TPS principal. So, and he and Dr. Durant are very good friends. So there's another connection. See how superintendents talk.
See how superintendents talk? Mazer went on to detail some of the precautions Toledo Public Schools took and lessons learned from their graduation process. A process that was put to the test 2 weeks prior to Cleveland's graduation ceremonies.
From the very beginning, we made it very clear that it was only the graduate that was going to get out of the car. So we had specific areas marked off where the student could get out of the car, and we had volunteers and staff working all week that week. And so they would stand there with the student, explain what they needed to do. And then when one student would move forward, we would move the next student up. And that's just how the cars moved up. They stayed right with their students, so there was no chance of confusion there.
I had a graduation 2015. It's a great experience. You can walk the stage. He's the second one. Johan Ortiz is the second one graduating in our family. So.
Yes, I think it's quite incredible because no other graduation class will experience a drive-through graduation like the class of 2020. So I think it's very unique, and we get to graduate, we get our diploma, live life.
I like it. It's exciting, you know. It's still like to have a graduation, still see the people, your teacher, and everyone here to like have this day, this special day to like feel like graduating.
Eric, could you tell us a little bit about the process of how the student remains in the car and why that's so important now?
Well, look, we have a responsibility to protect our community. We are 86% people of color. COVID-19 has afflicted the communities of color at 4 times the rate of the white community. Our people are essential workers, so they're exposed to COVID-19, and the health disparities that continue to persist in this city and this country make my population vulnerable. So I had to take a strong stand for safety. And yet, kids and families want to celebrate. So we wrestled with, well, do we have them all get out and turn their tassels together and then get in and parade? Do they get a picture before it starts and then parade? What we ultimately landed on is they want the diploma. And so you'll see that we're using social distancing. We have sanitizer. Any kid that hugs or shakes hands, which is natural to do, will immediately sanitize before the next one. Kids and families will make some of their own decisions, so they can be as safe as they feel they need to, but we will keep the process safe for everyone.
And about that digital component that you have live streaming with the graduation, why is that so important?
Well, we're asking kids to come 1 carload at a time. So that's a very small portion of anybody's extended family and friend network. And so we wanted it live streamed. It's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's on our district channel. We also have an app they can download to listen in their car if they prefer to do that. We wanted also a professional package that they can take away with them and have a ceremony forever. So the content they have here plus the roll call formally for their school. And we have digital photography, so everybody still gets that photo too. This class will remember this for the rest of their life in a different way than any of us else. We want it commemorated for them.
Do you have anything to say to the class of 2020 as they go on their way?
People are saying they're the lost generation. So wrong. The renaissance that's going to come out of this, the art, the music, the poetry, the scientists, the doctors, the teachers, because of this experience, we have not even begun to see what this class is going to do with this experience that they've had.
Well, thank you so much, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you. Go class of 2020!
This is Jessie Schoonover with the West Park Times.
Our thanks go out to West Park Times reporter Jerry Masick, partner Neighborhood Media Foundation, and our in-studio camera operator Sarah Liptak for helping to produce this report. You can read a full series of the 3 graduation ceremony stories and more by visiting westparktimes.com. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'm Doug Turrington, West Park Times TV.